Welcome back to another CrosseMaths lesson. Okay, today we're going to be doing solving equations. Okay, super straightforward. What I'd like you to do first though, pause the video and have a go at the starter in front of you. Right guys, hopefully you're all done. Okay, worth 18 points altogether. I'm going to try and go through it quite slowly. Okay, if you find these quite easy, feel free to skip to the answers. Okay, so I've got 732 divided by 6. 6 goes into 7 once, remainder 1. Goes into 13 twice, remainder 1. And it goes into 12 twice. So my answer is 122. 374. Add on 23. Remember, when you're adding, everything's got to hug the right hand side. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. And 3 plus nothing is 3. 397. Okay, if you can do that in your head, feel free to, but I recommend using a grid method just because it makes you, the column method, sorry, just because it makes sure you get it right and you can check your answer. 83 times 92, again, find a way that works for you. It genuinely doesn't matter which way you use. Okay, just find a way that's probably the most effective for you. Okay, if you're getting some wrong and some right, then you probably need to find a different way. 8 times 9 is 72. 3 times 9 is 27. 8 times 2 is 16, 3 times 2 is 6. The first slide has got 6 in it, then the next slide's got a 7, a 0 and a 6, which makes 13. Then I've got a 1, a 2 and a 2, which makes 6, and a 7 and a third one. So my answer is 7, 6, 3, 6. This is what we're doing today. So 4x equals 36. Think of your 4 times table. 4 times something equals 36. 4 times 9 equals 36. So x has got to be 9. I'm going to teach you a proper method for that this morning. Okay, so don't worry if you're not sure how I got to 9. 49 take away 38, really straightforward. 9 take away 8 is 1. 4 take away 3 is 1. Answer is 11. Simplify x minus y plus 4x, take away, add y on the end. So I'm going to put rectangles around my x's, and then ovals are on the other shape that I've got in the diagram. So if I just focus on the rectangles first, 1x plus 4x is 5x, minus y in my ovals plus y actually cancels out to make nothing. 20% of 540, 10% is 54. And then to find 20%, we've got to double that. If I double 10%, double 54, so times both sides by 2, I end up with 108. Share £30 in a ratio 2 to 3. Okay, remember you've got to add your shares at first. 2 plus 3 is 5 shares. 5 shares altogether. I'm going to divide my £30, my amount of money, by 5 to find out what one share is worth. 30 divided by 5 is £6. So every single share, and this is the important number, every single share is £6. This person on the left is getting 2. This other person is getting 3. The person that gets 2 lots of 6 gets 12. The person that gets 3 lots of 6 gets 18. Last one, okay, adding fractions. Okay, if you're not sure how to do these, I've got a whole video on it. I've got 2 videos on it actually. It's worth looking at that. So, got to make the bottom numbers the same. In order to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to times them together. 2 times 5 is 10. Once you've multiplied together, if you want to fill in the top numbers as well, you've got to cross multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. It's still an add question, so I put add in the middle. Then once you're there, you keep the bottom number. If it's 10 in the question, bottom number stays as 10 in the answer. 5 plus 2 gives me 7. So my answer is 7 over 10. Right guys, so there's all the answers by there. Mark whatever you've done. If you've got anywhere between 12 and 15, that's really good. If you've got anywhere over 15, that's amazing. And it's probably too easy a session for you, to be honest with you, if you get anywhere over 15. Right then, so solving equations, okay? Solving equations are really easy. Okay, all you've got to do is get the x on its own. Now, in order to do that, you've got to get rid of whatever's next to x at the moment. Okay, so at the moment on the first one over here, I've got x plus 3 equals 7. So I want to get rid of that plus 3 because I want x on its own. In order to get rid of a plus 3, I'm going to take away 3 to both sides. Okay, so it's called balancing. So you're balancing the equation by getting rid of whatever's on both sides, especially the plus 3. Okay, so whatever you do in a solving equation, you've got to do the same thing to both sides. Now, minus 3 plus 3 makes nothing. The x moves straight down because that hasn't been touched. 7 take away 3 is 4. Okay, I got x minus 6 equals 4. Okay, I want to get rid of that minus 6 now. Okay, so in order to get rid of that minus 6, I'm going to add 6 to both sides. X moves straight down. Minus 6 plus 6 makes nothing. 4 plus 6 is 10. 4 times x equals 20. Okay, so similar to what we've done already, you do the opposite of whatever you can see on the x side. Okay, I can see a 4 times. So I'm going to get rid of that by dividing by 4. If I divide by 4 on the left, I'm just left with x. If I divide by 4 on the right, I'm just left with 5. So x equals 5. Okay, so I've got x divided by 3 equals 21. What I got to do to get rid of that divided by 3 is just times both sides by 3. If I times both sides by 3, on the left-hand side I'm left with x. On the right-hand side, I'm left with 63. Right guys, what I'd like you to do, can you pause the video now and have a go at the ones on the right-hand side, please? Right then, hopefully they're all done, following the same steps that we've just done. Okay, if you haven't finished them yet, keep the video paused and finish off the ones on the right-hand side. Can you make sure the examples on the left are written down as well? So, on the right-hand side, I've got x plus 4 equals, 9. Okay, x plus 4 equals 9, and x minus 3 equals 11. So, in order to get rid of the x plus 4, I'm going to take away 4 to both sides. I'm left with x. Take away 4 equals 5. Then, x take away 3 equals 11. I've got to add 3 to both sides next. X moves straight down. 11 plus 3 is 14. 5x equals 15. If I divide through by 5, I end up with x equals 3. And on this one, if I times through by 6, I end up with x equals 48. So you're just doing the opposite of whatever you can see on that side. So hopefully you got those correct. Can you mark them please for me? And then we'll move on. Right, what I'd like you to do is a couple of questions by there. Pause the video now. Have a go at as many as you can. Okay? Hopefully you'll get them all done. If you don't get them all right, that's okay. Get as much done as you possibly can. Right guys, so the answers you should have got. You should have gotten something that looks like this. Okay, mark whatever you've done. Okay, if you got lots of those correct, that's really good. Hopefully the one-step equations that I've just shown you, we kind of understand those. Right then, so two-step. Now these are the ones you'd expect to understand by the end of year 7. Okay, if you're any younger than that, that's brilliant. But these are the ones you'd need to understand by the end of year 7. So on the left-hand side, I got 2x plus 3 equals 15. Now you've got to get rid of the number on the right-hand side, this plus 3. Okay, you've got to get rid of that first. So I'm going to take away 3 to both sides, exactly as I did before. So in this time, the 2x moves straight down, because I can't touch that yet. Plus 3 minus 3 makes nothing. 15 take away 3 is 12. Once I'm there, if I divide both sides by 2 to get x on its own, I'm going to move it over to the left-hand side. Divide by 2, I end up with just x. 12 divided by 2, I end up with 6. Very straightforward. Okay, so you've got to start with this number on the right-hand side. Okay, I'm going to add 3 to both sides first. 4x moves straight down. Plus 3 minus 3 is nothing. 21 plus 3 is 24. Divide by 4 now to get x on its own. I end up with x equals 6. Okay, so you're just doing the opposite of whatever you can see, but you've got to do exactly the same steps as before, but you've got to start with the number on the right hand side first. Okay, you've got to start with that. Okay, what I'd like you to do, pause the video now, make sure those examples are really clear in your book or whatever you're writing on, and have a go at the ones on the right hand side. Right, so hopefully those are done. On the right hand side, I've got a plus 6 on the end, so I'm going to get rid of that, so I'm going to take away 6. 3x moves straight down. Plus 6 minus 6 is nothing. 30 take away 6 is 24. Then I'm going to divide by 3. I end up with x equals 24 divided by 3 is 8. Okay, job done. Next, I've got take away 7. Okay, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides, get rid of that take away 7. 5x moves straight down. Plus 7 minus 7 is nothing. 33 plus 7 is 40. Then I'm going to divide by 5. I should end up with x equals 8. Okay, the only way people go wrong on this is they do, instead of doing plus 6 on the first one, they would have done add 6 just because they see an add 6. You've got to do the opposite of whatever you can see. Don't do what you can see to both sides because it won't change anything. Okay, right guys, pause the video now. Make sure those are marked up. If you've got them all right, that's amazing and you really understand this, okay? What I'd like you to do is pause the video after you've marked them all and have a go at these for me, please. This should solidify the knowledge in your brain. If you get all of them done, that's brilliant. Right, so hopefully